What's going on, guys? Nathan here. Today we're going to talk about the 3 draws that fish always play wrong. These are the draws that amateur poker players in particular consistently misplay at the poker table. Some of these might be costing you money as well, so let's jump right into it. Alright guys, so number 3 is baby flush draws. Now I have talked about these ones endlessly on the channel. I am specifically talking about baby suited connectors like a 5-4 of hearts, for example. Now I get it, guys, these hands look pretty. Every time I look down at a hand like this, my eyes light up. I think about all the possibilities just like everyone else does. But guys, you need to understand that these hands will consistently get you in trouble at the poker tables. And by the way, I'm going to walk you step by step through example hands for every single one of the bad draws in today's video. So you call a raise pre-flop with the aforementioned 5-4 of hearts, and the flop comes down with the ace of hearts, 10 of spades, and 8 of hearts. So awesome, right? We have hit a flush draw. But guys, the problem on this board, as hopefully you might have noticed, is that we have one of the worst flush draws possible. And so if there is big action in front of you, like a bet and a raise, guys, often you're going to be crushed in a situation like this, meaning that you are drawing very, very thin, meaning you have very few odds to win the pot. And in some cases, you might even be drawing completely dead, meaning that there are no cards that can come on the turn and river to allow you to win the hand. And that would specifically be in a situation where two players, for example, have the king of hearts, queen of hearts, and the other player has pocket tens. Guys, in a situation like this, pocket tens has hit a set on this flop, and that means that even if you hit your flush, they always have 10 more outs to hit the full house, or even 4 of a kind. But guys, even worse for our hands is the other player here has king, queen of hearts, meaning that they have a higher flush draw. So if the heart comes on the turn or river, for example, a jack of hearts, a 9 of hearts, a 7 of hearts, you are going to be in an absolute world of hurt because you are going to hit a flush, but your opponent is going to have a higher flush, and therefore you are statistically 0% to win the pot. There is no card remaining in the deck that you can catch to win the hand. So guys, I'm not saying to never play hands like 5-4 of hearts. There is a time and a place for almost all cards in poker, but by and large, you want to be careful with hands like this. A lot of amateur players will overplay these hands a ton, especially if they hit top pair, for example, as well. I didn't even have time to talk about that here, but these are not the hands that we're looking for top pair either. Guys, bottom line, you just want to play careful with these hands, play a small pot, and if two tight players are in there raising and re-raising, you have to recognize the situation and understand that there is a strong possibility that you are in a very, very bad spot, like we just discussed here, where they have a higher flush draw and 3 of a kind. Let's move on to the second hand that all fish always screw up, and that is chasing the bottom end of the straight. Now guys, this is one of the absolute biggest no-nos in the game of poker. The bottom end of the straight, also called the ass end, the idiot end of the straight, or the donkey end, or many other pejoratives, is because recreational players, amateurs in particular, love to chase this. Let me give you an example once again. You've got ace 8 of spades, and the flop comes down with the 9 of diamonds, 10 of clubs, and jack of hearts. Awesome, we got a straight draw, right? That's what a lot of recreational players, amateur players will think. But guys, the problem here that you might have noticed is that we're chasing the bottom end of the straight, and what that means is that if it comes with a queen, for example, on the turn or river, while we have made the straight in a situation like that, anybody that has, for example, a king in their hand would have a higher straight in that situation. And furthermore, hopefully you guys have already noticed, we could be drawing completely dead right now on this flop, because if they have a hand like king queen, for example, there are no cards in the deck that we can catch to beat that higher straight. So guys, this is another situation that is entirely player dependent. If a good player bets and another strong player raises, this is a common situation where the alarm bells need to be going off in your mind that there is a very good chance that these players have a higher straight draw, a hand like 2 pair or top pair that has you in very, very bad shape. So guys, the bottom line here is learn how to recognize board textures like this and understand when you are chasing the bottom end of the straight and essentially putting yourself in a position where if you hit your hand, you're your prize is going to be to lose a big pot. By the way, if you want to know how to read board texture correctly, I have multiple videos in my Elite Poker Training University, 17 plus hours of advanced poker lessons all taught by myself. There are over 200 hand history examples, 50 plus videos, downloadable cheat sheets, and more. I have just opened up enrollment. I will leave a link to enroll in the description below. But let's move on to the number one draw that fish always screw up. They always play wrong, and that is gut shot straight draws. So guys, a gut shot straight draw, also called an inside straight draw, is a statistically weak hand in poker. I'm going to walk you through the math and the odds in a second. Let me give you an example. You've got the 6-4 of diamonds, and the flop comes down with the 5 of hearts, deuce of clubs, and king of spades. So what you have here is what we call a gut shot straight draw or an inside straight draw. You are looking to hit a 3 on the turn or river, as that would give you the nut straight, and the nuts is just a slang term in poker for the best hand possible. But the problem here, guys, that there is only 4 remaining 3s in the deck, and that is why if you're up against a player who has a hand like top pair, for example, a hand like king queen, you're only going to be 20% to win, and if you miss your 3 on the turn, your odds drop to only 10%. Once again, guys, we do not need to be math geniuses to understand that these are very, very low odds, and this is why you want to be chasing open-ended straight draws instead, where you can make a straight on both ends, which is going to give you a lot higher odds to win the pot. So guys, bottom line, you must learn how to play your gut shot straight draws cautiously. You typically want to be playing a small pot with these hands, and I will lastly mention that these are actually great hands to bluff with because they have such low odds that, once again, if they bluff re-raise you, go all in against you, it's a pretty easy throwaway because we don't have much anyways. But that is a topic for another video, guys. I hope this one was helpful. These are the 3 draws that fish always screw up. Let me know in the comments below how you play your gut shot straight draws, your baby flush draws, and the bottom end of the straight. Like and subscribe if you found this video helpful. And finally, if you want to know my entire strategy to beat the small and mid stakes games, make sure you grab a copy of my free poker cheat sheet. I will link that up as the top link in the description below. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. All the best at the poker tables.